Sa lahat ng apat na issue ito, iisa lamang ang common denominator. Chinese. This is not about money anymore. Not about power too. But this is about our freedom. Kailan tayo kikilos at magkakaisa kung tayo ay nasakop na tulad ng ginawa ng Britanya sa kanila. Dumami ang droga, dumami ang patayan, nagkagulo, di nagkakaisa, at nakita din natin ang mga lugar kung saan ang mga criminal activities were being perpetrated by perpetrators. Kasama na dyan ang lugar kung saan ang mga pogo workers na di makakota sa kanilang ginagawang scam ay pinahihirapan, tinotorture, minomolestya, tinatakot pati pamilya kapalit ng pera, at ang iba na may pinapatay at nawawala na lang na parang bular. Kailangan din natin ang mas malalim na investigasyon sa sabwatan ng mga inihalal nating mga opisyal ng bayan, mapa-mayor, mapa-congressman, mapa-senador, at kahit pangulo ng ating bansa. We can see a pattern of bribery in the highest form to betray the Filipino people, attempting to kill the sovereignty of this nation at ibenta ang ating kalayaan. These public agencies and public servants abusing their authority must be held accountable.
On the part of the Committee on Games and Amusement, do I hear a similar motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to dispense with the calling of the roll.
Any second? There being no objection, the calling of the roll is hereby dispensed with.
The next item of our agenda is the acknowledgement of members of two committees and the resource persons. The committee secretary is hereby directed to acknowledge the members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety who are present today.
Good morning. Thank you, Your Honor. The following members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety are present today. The Honorable Vice Chair Romeo M. Acop, Honorable Jervil R. Luistro of the 2nd District of Batangas, Honorable Zaur Rahman Adjong of the 1st District of Lanao del Sur, Honorable Jonathan Keith T. Flores of the 2nd District of Bukidnon, Honorable Robert A. Barbers of the 2nd District of Surigao del Norte, and Honorable Joseph Stephen Carabs Meduano of Party List Abang Lincoln. That's all for the members of the Committee on Public Order, Your Honor. Thank you.
COMSEC, please acknowledge the members of the Committee on Games and Amusement who are present.
On the part of the Committee on Games and Amusements, the following members are present. Representative Jonathan Keith T. Flores of the 2nd District, Bukidnon, and Representative Romeo M. Acop, Vice Chairperson, 2nd District, Antipolo. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, the next item of the resource speakers are hereby the COMSEC is hereby directed to acknowledge the resource speakers who have been invited on this hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The following resource persons are present in today's hearing. From the Philippine Statistics Authority, Assistant National Statistician Marisa Grande, accompanied by Attorney Eleazar Ambatali. From the PDEA, Director General Moro M. Lazo. From the Municipality of Porac, Pampanga, Mayor Jaime Capil. From the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, Director Winston John Casio. From the DILG, Attorney Rico Alday. From the Bureau of Immigration, Attorney Vicente Ungcad. From the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, the Chair, Mr. Alejandro H. Tenco. Vice President Raul Villanueva and Attorney Jessa Maris Fernandez. From the Securities and Exchange Commission, Attorney Hale Oliver Labayo. From the Bureau of Internal Revenue, Attorney Scranton Orculio. And Mr. Dennis Conanan and his legal counsel, Attorney Clerigo, is also present. From the National Telecommunications Commission, Attorney Regina Anel Cruz Velasco. Also present is the municipal mayor of Lingayen, Pangasinan, and former Congressman Mayor Leopoldo Batawin. From the Department of the Interior, Department of Information and Communications Technology, Attorney Jenalyn Macalina of the Cybersecurity Bureau. From the CICC, Attorney Alvin Ashero. Also from the Anti-Money Laundering Council, Attorney Emmet O. Manandan. From Converge, Attorney Chito Salud. From Roque Law Office, Attorney Harry Roque. From the Philippine National Police, Police Major General Romeo Karamat Jr. Police Brigadier General Matthew Bakay. And also the former Chief of the Philippine National Police, Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. From former individuals connected with Lucky South 99, Ms. Marion Ryan Chua and Mr. Edwin Ang, and Mr. Julian Linsangan III. From Globe Telecommunications, Attorney Ariel Tubayan, and from the National Bureau of Investigation, Attorney Jerome Bomediano. Lastly, from the Land Registration Authority, Attorney Mark Anthony Anyag, the RD for San Fernando. From the Bureau of Immigration, Attorney Homer Arellano. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Now we come to the portion of the preliminary remarks of the chairman. I'll go ahead. Esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Magandang umaga po. Welcome to the final joint meeting of the Committee on Public Order and Safety and the Committee on Games and Amusement. For the last 3 hearings, as chairperson of the House Committee on Games and Amusement, we have closely examined the operations and regulation of online gaming industry, including the various agencies and its key players. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Public Order and Safety under Chairperson Danilo Fernandez has deftly navigated through the labyrinth of illegal POGO syndicates, uncovering its connection to human trafficking, money laundering, tax evasion, prostitution, kidnapping, torture, illegal drugs, and other criminal activities. To date, our hearings have achieved the following. We have exposed massive illicit activities within the industry. We have determined that revenue from offshore gaming does not justify the associated social costs. And our efforts have led to a growing public consensus that POGOs should be banned, a view that was echoed by the President in his last SONA. Despite the aforementioned headways, several issues still remain. One of it is that should the ban also encompass BPOs that provide third-party services to legitimate foreign operators from Americas and Europe. However, lest we forget, these illegal POGO operators, the one we have now, the 402, they initially commenced their operations legally or with a semblance of legality. Remember that they were former PAGCOR licensed or sub-licensees whose registration were no longer renewed. Hence, it behooves upon PAGCOR as the regulatory agency of the government to strictly monitor what happens to your licensees should they no longer be qualified to continue their operations. Second, regardless of whether the ban is total or regulated, it is clear that criminal activity has no place in our society. We must build on our previous findings. Visa issuing agencies, though justified as to their existence, should have a centralized reporting mechanism to monitor the whereabouts of foreigners to prevent all the reported crimes. Once in the country, foreigners should be held accountable for their action. For this, frontline agencies, including the local government units, should be tasked to be more proactive, as demonstrated in the PORAC case. The issue here is not lack of legislation, but more of proper implementation. Additionally, the private sector, particularly the internet service providers, they cannot escape accountability. Our inquiry revealed that we needed a stricter SIM registration procedure and a mandatory requirement for these internet service providers to report suspiciously high internet traffic that might indicate online gambling activities. This also brings to mind the question if there's a need to revisit or rescind EO number 13. Any new legislation must address the entire online gaming sector to ensure that POGO or POGO-like entities will not return in any form, name, or structure. With this in mind, I thank everyone for their attendance and participation. May we work together to ensure that our decisions and actions are guided by our core values of integrity and public service.
Thank you, Co-Chair. Nice opening remarks. At maganda rin po yung ating, ano tawag ba dito? People's Center. And newly opened. This is our first hearing na ginawa po dito sa People's Center. And thank you so much for allowing us to use this for the first time. And this is my opening remarks. At ang ating pong opening remarks ay sasamahan na rin po natin ng konting presentation. We collated this presentation on all of the investigation that we have conducted, because this will be our last hearing together with the Committee on Games and Amusement. Because the plenary, the members, have created a quadcom composed of 4 committees. Committee on Public Order and Safety, Committee on Human Rights, Committee on Drugs, and Committee on Public Accounts. So, ito na po yung aking opening remarks and presentation. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Noong nakaraang Lunes po, sa pangunguna po ng ating Speaker, Martin Romualdez, kasama po ang ilan sa ating mga members ng committee na ito, kasama rin po si Co-Chair Oni Ferrer. Kami po ay nagpunta sa Bamban, Tarlac, sa PORAC at sa Mexico, Pampanga, kung saan nasa abat ng ating mga operatiba ang mga droga na iniimbestigahan sa Committee on Dangerous Drugs sa pangunguna ni Chairman Ace Barbers. Nakita din natin ang mga lugar kung saan ang mga criminal activities were being perpetrated by perpetrators. Kasama na dyan ang lugar kung saan ang mga POGO workers na di makakota sa kanilang ginagawang scam ay pinahihirapan, tinotorture, minomolestya, tinatakot pati pamilya kapalit ng pera, at ang iba na may pinapatay at nawawala na lang na parang bula. Ito po mga criminal elements that lead to a lot of human rights violations and must be investigated more deeply dahil may connection siya sa extrajudicial killing sa war on drugs that is now being investigated by Chairman Benny Abante under the Committee on Human Rights. Binisita din po namin ang mga pasilidad na nasa pangangalaga na po ng PNP at ng PAOK-TF. But sad to say that a much comprehensive approach on this must be put in place. Tama si Speaker Martin Romualdez, kailangan ng inventaryo na mga gamit at pangangalaga ng tamang ahensya upang di masira ang mga kagamitan at pasilidad sa mga naturang lugar. Kailangan din natin ang mas malalim na investigasyon sa sabwatan ng mga inihalal nating mga opisyal ng bayan, mapa-mayor, mapa-congressman, mapa-senador, at kahit pangulo ng ating bansa. We can see a pattern of bribery in the highest form to betray the Filipino people, attempting to kill the sovereignty of this nation at ibenta ang ating kalayaan. And I will explore this issue in a while. These public agencies and public servants abusing their authority must be held accountable under the Committee on Public Accounts headed by Chairman Caraps Paduano. Tama lang po ang approach ng Kongreso sa pangunguna ni Speaker Martin Romualdez. Malalim na investigasyon sa organized crime under my committee, illegal drugs under the Committee of Dangerous Drugs, mga violation sa karapatang pantao, Pilipino man o banyaga sa Committee on Human Rights at public accountability ng mga tao sa gobyerno na inabuso ang kapangyarihan na pinagkaloob sa kanila ng mamamayan na nasa ilalim ng Committee on Public Accounts. Last Monday, it was moved by Senior Deputy Speaker Dong Gonzales that these 4 committees should start a joint meeting to expedite the interconnection of different issues and thereafter recommending prosecution for those perpetrators. Sa lahat ng 4 na issue ito, iisa lamang ang common denominator. Chinese. Patutunayan natin, unang issue, PIDEA files drug wraps versus importers of shabu in magnetic lifters. Noong August 29, 2018, 335 kilos of shabu worth billion of pesos ang mga nahuling mga taga-China, Chan Yihua, Xiang Huan. Noong April 16, 2024, sa pagpapatuloy ng operasyon ng PIDEA, nahulihan ang 1.8 tons of shabu worth $230 million. Sa Zambales, 500 kilograms of shabu nahuli 4 na Chinese nationals, si Gao Maoshu, si Hong Hanxie, si Eddie Tan at si Su Yuha na lahat taga Fujian, China. Yung 14K Hong Kong Triad at si Sun Yi-o, pinakamalaking powerful drug trafficking organization in the global illegal drug market. Sila ang pinakamalaking supplier na shabu sa Pilipinas at sinabi nila na ang Pilipinas ang pinaka-the best sa market at transshipment at point ng shabu dito sa ating pong rehiyon. Sa Cavite, 2 Chinese men ang napatay at 2 bilyong shabu ang nakuha ng PIDEA. Ito ang mga droga na apprehended were all brought here by Chinese. Ang nahuli ay mga Chinese. Ang gumawa ay Chinese. Ang tanong dito is bakit nila pinupuno ng droga ang bansang Pilipinas? The Chair would like to show and share to you briefly the opium wars of China with Great Britain. The first opium war was in 1841. Ang emperor nila during that time ay si Dang Guang. Dahil during that time, ang Western, particularly ang Great Britain, di sila makapag-trade sa China dahil ayaw ng emperor. Kaya ang ginawa ng British, they flooded China with drugs, leading to widespread addiction na nagdulot ng pagkakagulo, pagpapatayan, social unrest, and ang economic impact sa Chinese government. At ito ang naghudyat ng unang digmaan ng 2 bansa. At dahil dito, this forced China na ibigay ang Hong Kong for 100 years sa Britanya. Ang ikalawang digmaan naman po ng Opium War ng China with Britain ay noong 1856. Yung pagkakahuli ng isang ship ng Britain called Arrow by the Chinese authorities. Ito ang ginamit ng British to start another Opium War. Nagsama-sama na dito ang Great Britain, France, and other Western forces that lead to the defeat of China. At dahil dito, na-capture ang Beijing in 1860. Natapos ang digmaan na ito with the signing of the Treaty of Tianjin in 1858 and the Treaty of Beijing in 1860. Ang mga treaty na ito ay expanding yung control ng Western sa China ports, sa markets, at gawing legal ang opium o drug trade. Ganon din po ba Ganon din po ba ang ginagawa ng China sa atin with our own version of war on drugs? Di po ba ang daming mga droga naggaling sa China? Kailan po ba ito nagsimula? Di po ba halos lahat ng nagpapasok ng droga sa ating bayan ay Chinese according sa ating mga reports ng PIDEA? Sino ang nagpapasok sa kanila? Yan po ay katanungang iiwan ko sa inyo panandalian, pero maliwanag pa sa sikat ng araw na ang issue ng droga ang evolve ang ating common denominator, mga Chinese. Pangalawa, sa issue ng paglabag sa karapatang pantao, sa hearing po ng Committee on Human Rights, marami po ang established na namatay sa war on drugs. Ang PNP report, lumalabas, 7,640. Sa Presidential Communication Office, inilabas nila na 20,000 ang report ng PCO na umabot noong taong 2017. These deaths includes human rights abuses that was a product of war on drugs that was carried out by the illegal drugs brought by the Chinese national in cahoots with bribe Filipinos appointed and elected official of the government. Sila ang makabagong makapili. At dito naman sa ating investigasyon sa Pogo, nakita natin na ang perpetrators ng mga organized crime, tortures, killings, kidnappings, and so on, and so on, and so on. Again, Chinese. Sa issue naman po ng korporasyon, ng pag-aari ng mga Chinese, thousands of hectares of land na pag-aari ng mga korporasyon na ang mga incorporators ay mga Chinese. Yung Empire 99 Corporation, 300 titles na-establish po to sa Committee ng Public Accounts ni Chairman Caraps Paduano, and all the incorporators are Chinese. Ang mga politiko naman na pretending to be Filipinos but supported by a company owned by China or affiliated with China. Naalala niyo po ba yung mga tarpaulin na ganito na kung saan gagawin tayong probinsya ng China? This is a mind setting. This is mind conditioning. Ilan pa kaya ang alis go sa ating mga elected officials? Ilan pa kaya sa kanila o sa amin o sa atin dito ang supported directly or indirectly by the wide, comprehensive mobilization of their different elements to perpetrate their intention to control our nation and invade us without firing a single bullet. Pati na ang iniimbestigahan natin dito. Yung SMNI was investigated by Congress. It was mentioned by Napoda City Representative Toby Chanco noong December 11 na karang taon that SMNI is affiliated with CGTN, China Global TV Network. Meron silang partnership which was used to push the China's agenda. Pansinin po natin yan, mga kababayan. And even ang NGCP, ang National Grid Corporation, siyang nagsusupply ng kuryente sa buong Pilipinas. Sila ang bumubuhay sa ating ekonomiya dahil sila nagdadala nito sa ating mga pabrika, sa ating mga tahanan, sa paaralan, sa ating gobyerno, sa ating military, sa ating PNP. Lahat ng sakay ng gobyerno, sila ang nag-aalaga ng seguridad ng ating kuryente. Ang 40% nito ay pag-aari ng State Grid Corporation of China. 60% kay Henry C. and Robert Coyuto. Tama si Speaker Martin Romualdez. We need to buy back through the Sovereign Wealth Fund yung Maharlika Investment Corporation na mabili natin kahit isa man lang board seat sa NGCP. Dahil tayo na lamang sa buong mundo ng National Grid or our transmission line is owned by a private company, owned by a foreigner. owned by a country who wants to control us and invade us silently. Di ba yung 9-meter dash line? Na sinakop na nila ang buo nating karagatan ay gusto na nilang kunin. Gumising na po tayo, mga kababayan. As reported and discussed in the Committee on Transportation headed by Chairman Romy Acop, ang Coast Guard. 36 Coast Guards, Chinese, mga general, mga koronel. Ang first line of defense natin, depend natin, yung ating pong coastline, yung ating karagatan, sila nagdedepensa. Pero meron po tayong mga general na mga Chinese, meron tayong mga koronel na mga Coast Guards. They penetrated us. Our first line of the defense was penetrated already. And even General Gaban told us and asked for an executive session during that time. Dahil sinasabi, nababayaran ang posisyon sa Coast Guard. Pera din ang umiiral, nagkabayaran dito, the power of bribery were all around us, that Filipinos, especially elected and appointed officials, accepted the bribe without really knowing that they were already selling our sovereignty and our territory. Even our Philippine Statistics Authority, the requirement for the late registration was relaxed. Thereby, the easy access for birth certificate for Chinese was done without haste. The service provider of PSA is Unisys with link with the Chinese corporation Lenovo. Madaling makakuha ng Philippine passport dahil madali na ang pagkuha ng birth certificate. Thousands of Chinese were issued Filipino passport. Even our students' visa issued by different agencies and special resident visa and the retirement visa and also yung AEP ng DOLE. 180,000 were issued to POGO's employees were all used to mobilize their Chinese people to penetrate us, to penetrate our wealth, our rights, and our nation. Yung mga uniforme na nakita sa Porac na may People's Liberation Army seal is an indication that Chinese military people are running the show in these facilities. Sinisinimula na po tayo ng kanilang operasyon using our own resources. Sa madaling salita, kinigisa tayo sa sarili nating mantika. Ang lahat na nangyayaring ito na may kinalaman ang mga Chinese ay isang bagay na di natin dapat isawalang bahala. Mahal natin yung mga Chino na pinapanganak at lumaki, nagkaisip, namuhay, na tunay na isang Pilipino. Sila man po ay hindi dugong Pilipino, subalit sila naman po ay pinili na maging Pilipino sa isip, sa salita, at sa gawa. Tama ang Pangulo ng ating bansa, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. The pivotal decision of the President turning not away from China but in the middle and put the primary interest of this nation first deserves high respect and accolade. Salute. We may have been involved to these different elements of silent invasion without us knowing it. Pero ngayong alam na po natin, tama na, tigilan na po natin to. This is not about money anymore. Not about power too. But this is about our freedom. Kailan tayo kikilos at magkakaisa kung tayo ay nasakop na tulad ng ginawa ng Britanya sa kanila. Dumami ang droga, dumami ang patayan, nagkagulo, di nagkakaisa, at sa gitna ng kanilang kaguluhan, sila ay sinakop ng Britanya. Matuto na sana tayo sa kasaysayan. Even our own history, 300 taon tayo sinakop ng Kastila, sinakop tayo ng Hapon, sinakop tayo ng Amerikano. At matapos na tayong masakop, saka lang tayo nagkaisa at lumaban. Never again. Let's be united and maintain our freedom. Maraming salamat at naway gabayan tayo ng Ama na lumikha ng langit at lupa.
Mr. Chair.
Pasensya na po kayo kung masyadong mahaba yung presentation ko, but
Mr.
because
Chair.
this will be our last hearing that will be conducted by the joint committee hearing of
Mr.
Games and Amusement and the Committee on Public Order, I have to save this peace.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Chairman Abante.
may I interpolate on your privilege speech?